Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Why am I here today? I'm here for two reasons. First, Senator Landrieu asked me to come. Now, when Senator Landrieu asks you to do something, you do it. And it didn't take her long to be the first senator, the first elected official, to ask me to come to the Gulf and meet with actual citizens confronting this disaster. And I'm glad to honor that request and be here today. The second reason I'm here is because a program like this cannot be designed or administered from Washington. You have to come down here, hear what people say, take the time to listen. It's the only way. You can't send surrogates, you can't send other people. I learned that from 9/11. When I went to New York and the Pentagon and Shanksville, and you have to listen to what people have to say. Now, in one sense, this program with the $20 billion starts off, I have a much easier task than with these other disasters like Agent Orange and 9/11. And that's because, give BP and Darrell Willis some credit. They have a program up and running. It's not perfect. We have to improve it. Darrell will tell you we have to improve it. But at least I hit the ground running with 14 different claims centers in Louisiana, about 25 in the entire Gulf area, over $120 million already paid out. It makes my job somewhat easier, the challenge somewhat easier, because of what Darrell and BP have done to date. BP's claims process is not perfect, but it's a beginning. And I am not going to reinvent the wheel. I'm building on what's already been accomplished. Now, what will the plan be? You guys need certainty. Let me tell you the plan. Right away, today, yesterday, the day before, tomorrow, you can continue to go and see Darrell and walk into a BP claims facility, file your claim, get interim emergency compensation if your claim is corroborated and eligible. That won't change. Over the next 30 days, BP, Darrell, will move back, and this $20 billion program will replace the BP program. What that really means is the BP sign will change to the Gulf Coast Feinberg sign. But we're not going to close down those facilities. We're not going to stop the cash from flowing. We're going to transition from the BP program to the Gulf Coast program, independently administered by me. I am not a government official. I am not a BP official. The administration and BP agreed that there ought to be an independent person with experience and credibility to design, implement, and administer the program. That's what I plan to do. I will keep the people that are already working on this program. I will add additional people. But the additional people I add must come from the region. They got to be people. They have to be local people that are trusted, that know their neighbors, that understand better than I ever could exactly what the needs and wants are of the people in the locale. Darrell grew up in this area. Darrell understood. I have to make sure that the people on the ground that are evaluating the claims are local, diverse, understand, and are sensitive to those needs. I pledge I will do that. Now, how will the program work? I will tell you exactly how I envision this program working. Senator Landrieu is absolutely correct. BP and the administration agreed $20 billion will be set aside for all purposes: claims, cleanup, resource recovery. $20 billion set aside, $5 billion a year for 4 years to deal with the spill. If the $20 billion is insufficient, BP has agreed to replenish the fund. So it is not a capped $20 billion. And it is not $20 billion just for claims. There are other purposes that will be served with these funds. But the $20 billion is not all there is if more is needed. Next, I can't help any of you if you don't file a claim. I only can get involved if you see the wisdom and have the foresight to file a claim with this program. Now, you go to your local claim office. In about 2 weeks or 3 weeks, you'll be able to do it online if you want, all electronically with your computer. But if you don't want to do it with a computer online, go to the local claim office. We'll have the list. Darrell probably knows it by heart. We'll have the list of claim offices. Go to the claim office, fill out a claim. Now, when you fill out a claim, you'll need to give the claims manager, a local person, corroboration of your claim. You'll have to say, I'm out of work and I'm losing $5,000 a month in wages. Here is evidence of the $5,000. Here is my checkbook. Here is my employee canceled check. Here is my evidence that I can. Minimal corroboration. You don't have to be an accountant. Minimal corroboration of your claim. That claim, I assure you, will be immediately processed. Maybe on the spot, maybe a few days, not weeks. But that corroborated eligible claim will be paid promptly. BP's been paying those claims for wage loss fairly quickly. We will accelerate the process not only for individual wages, but where we really need to accelerate the process is business interruption for small businesses who haven't been able to get paid as quickly as they should. So we'll take that claim. We will process that claim, whether it's an individual claim, whether it's a small business claim, whether it's a larger business claim, as long as the claim is eligible, as long as it is corroborated with something that is sufficient, those claims will be processed in a matter of days. In a matter of days. Now, these are emergency payments. When you get this money by filing a claim, there is absolutely no obligation on your part. Mr. Feinberg, when I get this money, do I have to give up my right to sue if I want to go to court? Absolutely not. Do I have to give up other rights? Absolutely not. This money is emergency money designed to tide you over until the leak stops and we can evaluate your long-term needs, which I'll get to in a minute. So there is no obligation that you forfeit by accepting this emergency money. Now, I thought this was a great idea. Darrell and I were talking about how we'll provide people in this room emergency money for 1 month, then you come back another month, and then if you need a third month, well, you know Senator Landrieu. Senator Landrieu took me aside and said, why are you making people come back every month? Why don't you provide them a lump sum, certain payment for 3 months or 4 months or 5 months? It is always wise to listen to Senator Landrieu. And that is exactly what this new facility plans to do. That makes more sense. Why not? This emergency is going to last a while. The oil is still flowing. Why not come up with a more efficient mechanism so that people don't have to come back month to month? They may want to. They may want to come back month to month. I can give you an example of somebody that wants to come back month to month. Mr. Feinberg, I need $5,000. That's what I'm earning. That's what I've lost. And next month, $5,000. But after that, my business is seasonal. I would have earned $7,000 or $8,000 a month. Well, you may not want a lump sum payment for $5,000. You may prefer to come back. That's your option. That's your option. But the important point is that these emergency payments will be available with minimal but necessary minimal corroboration without any obligation on your part. Now, what happens after the leak stops? And now we have a better handle on the nature of the damage. I anticipate the following. Each of you who received emergency assistance will now come to the facility to see me. And we will try and calculate what your long-term loss is. Not just right now, but for the next year, 2 years, 5 years, 3 years. Not easy to do. A murky crystal ball. But we did it in 9/11. We did it in Agent Orange. We'll do it here. Mr. Jones, your business has suffered as a result of the leak. We calculate that for probably 2 years, your business is going to be curtailed by 60%. We will give you a choice. A choice. You can either take this check from the Gulf facility in the amount of, $28,000, $92,000, $68,000. You can take that check. If you take the check, think it over. Better talk it over with your husband and your wife. Think it over. You can take this check. But if you take the check, you sign this piece of paper. That's full satisfaction of your claim. You can't sue BP. That is your voluntary choice. The facility will be very generous. The facility will bend over backwards, as the senator said, to give you total compensation for your loss. You're going to have to document that loss. You're going to have to corroborate that loss. But if you want this check, here it is. And in return, now, unlike the emergency payments, now you sign, you will not sue.